Well, how do there, chums? 'Tis I, Captain of the Steves, and today, chums, for you guys in the viewerverse, I'm bringing you my best top tips for completing this expedition as quickly as possible with as little hassle as possible. So I've got 3 awesome tips for you. So here goes, people. Okay, so tip number 1 is round the frigate missions. So you've got to send out 8 frigate missions. The sooner you get started, the better. So I'm going to tell you how to get started nice and quickly, and my top tips for completing this as quickly as possible by having 3 command rooms, 1 that you can send out sort of like periodically, and the other 2 for doing cancellations. So if you haven't heard of cancellations, stay locked in and stay tuned. And if you don't hear these tips anywhere else, please hit up a subscribe and smash that like. Much appreciated. So first thing I would do, or near to the start of the first things you would do, is fly out and start shooting some roids. Yes, blow up all these asteroids and you're going to be getting yourself gold, you're going to be getting yourself silver, you're going to be getting yourself tritium. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you're going to get shooting the 50 asteroids, as well as popping a badge and getting a load of extra sort of rewards anyhow. So yeah, go shoot your 50 asteroids and complete that badge. And also, another way to get a shed load of sort of resources for building your command rooms is in the back of your freighter. You've already got a procedurally generated sort of area. Delete it. Delete it. You can get loads of silver, loads of tritium, loads of bits and bobs, and you can do your own build. So I've just sped this up, but all I'm doing is deleting out the rooms. I've left the farming room in there because I quite like the look of it, and you don't get the blueprint for that until well later on. So yeah, I'm leaving that in there. Right, so now I want to build my very first command room. You should have loads of resource to do this with now. So there we go, that's in. Look, I can build 6. I can build 6 of them, so you can build 2 either side as well. So build out your command rooms, lovely and jubbly. At the moment you can see that I've got nothing else that I can really build apart from a save point. And what I would say is, if you are going to construct a save point, don't put it right in the middle of your freighter base or something, because if it doesn't render in when you reload, sometimes you can end up just drifting in space, which isn't good for anybody. So yeah, if you want to make a save point, I would suggest putting it right outside your freighter's door. Where the green light is, there's a little buildable area that you can build. I'm going to stick mine there. I'd suggest you probably put it in the same place as where I have, to save any sort of frustration. Excellent. Righto, so now you want to go down to this terminal here, and hopefully you're going to have some salvage frigate modules. You should get them quite early game. So yeah, now you can unlock the blueprint for 50 sort of frigate tons of fuel. So craft yourself some of that. Yeah, if you've got yourself a bit of dehydrogen, that tritium that you got from shooting the asteroids, you can easily craft 50 tons. Righto, so my frigate is actually a combat vessel, so I've chosen a combat mission. This one only takes 1 hour. Any of the missions that take 1 hour, I kind of just let them run their course, because what's 1 hour? An hour when it's... Yeah, but I'm going to be showing you how to do cancellations later, and it still counts as frigate expeditions. So yes, you're going to be getting your tritium from shooting all the asteroids. You can get dihydrogen down on planet surfaces. You can just shoot the planet if you want and get a load of dihydrogen that way. I'll show you a bit later. But here we go. I'm just going to craft out a load of 50-ton fuels because I got the blueprint from that center console. But after you go and interact with this actual console, once you've sent out your first missions, they are going to give you blueprints for 50, 100 and 200. So there we go. Lovely job, download blueprinties. So there we go. Boom, done. So there's a little side tip for you there, people. Right, now I'm going to build 2 other rooms adjacent to this one, so I've got a total of 3 command rooms, and I've also gone out and recruited 2 more frigates. So here's my frigate fleet here. If we go into manage fleet, I just got 2 support frigates, get whatever. But what I would say is, if you've got combat frigates, they come in handy, because when you call in your freighter, if you're attacking pirates, they sometimes send out little vessels to help shoot down the bad guys. And just a little side note. But anyway, viewing potential missions, I don't care if they're like 3-star, 4-star, if they're the wrong type, doesn't matter. Just pick your actual frigate that you're sending out. Just do one, so you're not using up all your fuel, because we're going to be cancelling these. We're doing the cancellations bits now. That's this tip. Okay, right. So there we go. I'm sending those out. Lovely jobs. So they're both going out. But as soon as I've sent them both out, I'm going to go and cancel them both. I'm going to leave the one in the middle, because it's only 1 hour, just to run its course. Because mainly, the ones that run really quickly, they do bring back some resources that can be quite useful. I mean, I've had storm crystals come back from them, which is a later tip anyway. Or I've had like cadmium and chromatic metal and activated whatever. It's a great way to make a little bit of extra buck on the side. So although we're cancelling these off, there is a bit of a side effect. Yes, you're going to get them done quicker. Here you go. If I hit that up, it says that I've done 1, even though I just cancelled it. Let's do that again. So let's go over to the screen here. I'm hitting it up, and then you get 2 options. You can either speak to the commander or abort mission. You can just go to abort mission. and that should then go green and then bring it back. Now, in the past, I'm fairly sure that I've had it when I've gone to abort mission. It goes red for some unknown reason and breaks, and it didn't count or something back then. But apparently that's no longer the case. You don't get any squiffiness happen, so you're okay to just do it from that first menu now. I've had a few people sound off on my comments saying no, there's no squiff now, so it's great. So now I'm just picking the other two missions and I'm sending them out again. Now these missions, they tend to refresh at different times. It's really odd. I don't know what the refresh time is. I've had people sound off on the comments again on my other video saying it's midnight US time. But yeah, I'm really not sure, because I've seen it refresh within like 6 hours over here in the UK from the time that I sent it. So but maybe it tripped over to the US times. I don't know time zones. But anyhow, I'm just going to let this one run its course. This one's got a little bit longer, so it's all cool. Well, the one in the middle I'm letting run the course. Those two, I've just cancelled them off. Here comes the second one. I'm just going to go cancel this one. Boom. So let's go into here and let's cancel that one and abort mission. So you're going to see that the counter has now gone up to like what, 4 of 8 or whatever. So that's pretty darn sweet. And now we've just got to wait for those missions to refresh so you can get these done uber quickly. And I've just got that one, and that one's just got a little bit of time, and I'm just going to let that one run and see what it brings back, because sometimes they bring back some really useful things for this actual mission. So there we go. That's how you can speed up your frigate missions. That's how you can easily get all the frigate missions done within, say, maybe a 24 to 48 hour period, rather than having to do them how you're supposed to and waiting for the full cooldown. So there we go, people. That's my first tip for frigate fleet control. Okay, so big tip number 2 is for the hunting dangerous pirates mission, because we've got to kill like 20 of the little scamps or something mental. So I found the easiest way to do this is by finding pirate missions at the Nexus. So as you can see here, there's already a Hunt Dangerous Pirate mission there for me to pick up. If there's not one for you, it takes about 10 minutes for these to cycle out and for new missions to be offered. It's quite a common one to appear, so you're probably not going to have to wait around too long inside of the Nexus for this to happen. But here we go, we've got a load of pirates that have spawned in, which is great, which is fantastic. Once I get there though, before I do the scan to bring in the pirates, I bring in my freighter. Now, like I say, if you've got some combat frigates in orbit of your freighter, sometimes they deploy little attack vessels to come and help you. They look like sentinel ships, but they're going to help. Right now, I have no wingman. No wingman whatsoever, so I'm taking these guys out on my own. And another good thing about having your freighter nearby is if it does get too hot and heated for you, you can fly back inside of your freighter, wait for your shields to replenish and fly back out if you've got nothing to recharge your shields with. So that's always a bonus. Or you can use it to get in between the, the pirates and yourself to try and get a little bit of breathing space. But there we go. Completed the mission, flying back inside of the Nexus. Job's a good one. Now, people in the viewerverse, number 3 is an odd one. Now, I didn't need storm crystals inside of my playthrough. If I did, I managed to get them ambiently. There hasn't been a problem me getting storm crystals, okay? But inside of my comments, I've had so many people saying, Captain Steve, how the fudge do you get storm crystals? Because I can't get to activated welds, because I can't get to cadmium systems, because the first warp drive is no longer chromatic metal. They've changed it to cadmium. It seems broken. How do I get storm crystals, Captain of the Steves? So the way that I get storm crystals, and I've been getting them while I've been playing and not realised that they were hard to freaking get, is I usually nosedive and sort of shoot planets. At the moment, I'm at an airless world that's got rusted metal on and stuff. You come across these all the time, airless planets. But on these, because there's no foliage or anything really taxing to actually bring into the verse, you can see dehydrogen from such a freaking distance. And it's bloody blue. Against this landscape, it's so easy to see. Just keep shooting the dehydrogen stacks. 1, it helps for your frigate floor creation, like massively. And 2, you're going to be given these sort of like crystalline shards. You're going to see some pop up hopefully in a moment. There's a dehydrogen. There you go, crystal fragment. That's what you're after. Now, approximately 1 in 30 of these to 1 in 50 of these might spawn you in a storm crystal. I'm just getting rid of some of the geodes, which you're going to get from shooting all the rocks on the planet, just to make some space in my ship. Also, you can see here my ship keeps bouncing up and down. That's because I'm still in the nosediving position, and I'm slowly knackering out my shields by doing this. So yeah, I'm just going to punch through all of those, and the way that I've done that is hold to select. I've turned it off, so you can just hammer the button to select and then you can get rid of them. You do that in your options. But here we go, I'm just hitting it, bang, 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 and you should see storm crystal. Heck yes, That's how you get storm crystals, nice and easy, but it's a low random drop. Okay, so they're my top 3 tips for you, and I kind of think that they are enough to get you through this expedition. However, that said, I've got a few other random tips that would really set you off on the best start with inside of this expedition. So let's get into those, shall we? And if any of those previous tips helped you, or if you didn't know them, or if you haven't seen them anywhere else, or whatever, or if you think I deserve it, please hit on up that subscribe, because it does mean a lot to us YouTubers, it really does. You have the power! Clickety-click the button! Heck yes. Righto, so here comes my next few tips for you for best start. Okay, right, so people, the very first system you start in is a very special system. Don't just go and jump out of it. It's in the Wazaki system. Where you start, there is a very special planet. It's this green one! Holy woody... How the fudge do you pronounce that? I'm just going to call it Planet Hollywood. Planet Hollywood has got ancient bones on. Ancient bones, if you get the golden ones like the skull, is worth millions of units. And then you can also get your bones, which are worth 500,000 to close to 1 million. So yeah, while you're there, dig up and fill up maybe one of your cargo holds on your freighter with freaking ancient bones so you can sell them off for units. Now, that's another thing. On the planet, also pick up some sodium plants, the little yellow plants. Just get some sodium. You only need 20, but I would say go to town. Maybe get yourself 120 or something and build out a load of storage containers on your freighter, because you get the blueprint really early for that. So that's another freaking tip. Heck yes, it is. Now, if you want a shed load of units, like 50 million units, okay, you need to save your game. So if you put the save point on your freighter, save your game, exit back out, go into multiplayer and choose one of the ones that says community expedition. Okay, and I usually go for ones that would say 1 of 4. Join their game, okay? Hopefully they're not going to instantly kick you out, because that can happen. Okay, so as soon as you spawn in, you're looking for their freighter marker, because you're going to spawn in space in your ship anyway, and you're looking for their freighter marker. If you don't see their freighter marker, simply exit back out, choose another one, jump straight back in again until you see their freighter marker. It's going to be freaking glowing and on the screen, and you can see that they've got a blue Pridget, so their freighter marker's blue. Fly aboard it as quickly as you can, just in case they do try to kick you out or whatever, or leave group, and just fly in. And as soon as you start flying in, it's going to pop the badge for hospitality. You don't even need to get out. In fact, I would suggest not getting out on purpose, because if you do get out and then they go and move their freighter while you're on it, who knows what's going to happen. Pop the badge while you're still inside your ship, go through the menu nice and quick, fly back out, fly over to a station, jump out of your ship. It's going to say cannot save in multiplayer. Okay, so what you do then is then leave the group, turn off all your multiplayer settings, jump in your ship, out of your ship, and make a save. Sometimes it says save not saved in multiplayer, but you know, it does save. It does save despite what it says. So there you go, people. They're all my tips for you. Goodbye, goodbye, and goodbye again. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see, please hit a like and a subscribe. And I'd like to say a massive, great big thank you to all of my backers over on Patreon and over on YouTube membership. Thanking you, backers. And if you want to support this channel, just don't skip the adverts. That throws revenue down my avenue. Or yeah, just stay with Captain Steve that little bit longer and hit something on this screen. There's merch here now too.